Welcome back, boys and girls. This is the first week of the playoffs, and yes, the notifications on Twitter were right. The Facebook posts were correct. Tank Top Mike, you won, brother.
I did
You're
it.
going to the ship.
Back to
You're
back.
going. You're there.
Back to back.
Back to back. Some would argue that you probably have the best manager status in the league.
I think it felt like most, to be honest with
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's even close. What do you think, Marky Mark? There's nobody else that comes to mind, right?
Nobody that comes to mind. Nobody that comes to mind.
NAO said it, so therefore,
It's what, like Janet Jackson said, "What have you done for me lately?"
forever. Well, boys and girls, this is the show that you've been waiting for. We are going to go through the first round of the playoffs. We're going to find out who is naughty and nice. It is that time of year. And we'll find out that I whooped that ass against A-Bomb in the Who Cares Bowl. Shocker. All right, Marky Mark, let's get it on.
Well, we're about halfway done now, man. You gave it all away. What did I do? All right, here we go. Here we go. We're going to start off with the playoffs, of course.
The playoffs?
We have the DBs beating the Pooh Crew 154 to 121. So, Pooh Crew, I'll give him a little bit of credit. He did lose JT early on, still put up a pretty decent score, but not enough to get it done. I know you're happy about that, Sean. Tell me what you think.
I feel like this was God's work. Like the EVs came in and they're like, you know what? We're on a mission from the big man upstairs. We need to put this guy in check. It was nice. It brought joy to my heart to see Ian make to the first round and just not win. Not win at all. You know what's gonna even make me even happier is if he doesn't get a win at all in the playoffs. That'd make me even happier. What do you think there, Tank Top?
Yeah, he's got some tough lineup decisions. I think, like Mark said, he gets the pass for JT, obviously. But Goofy's going to come out swinging, I think. Goofy has some question marks, though. We'll get to his roster. But he's got some
Well,
question marks next week, too.
this week, it seemed like all the stars aligned for the DBs. You know what I mean? Maybe, hopefully, it was a week early, and it doesn't pan out in the ship.
Well,
But
they did. Tyler Lockett's out for a few weeks. But they have the
okay.
depth. They have the depth to fix him pretty quick, so. But
Yeah.
he's been solid for a while now, so.
I mean, the Poo Crew over here, a lot of his big guys, they did okay. Like Cook, he put up 25 points. That's better than okay. You can if you get 25 points from Cook, you're usually doing pretty darn well. It's the barely 9 points from your quarterback that really hurt him. You know, Herbert threw 2 interceptions. He's still in no touchdowns. He didn't throw a single touchdown. What is that?
No touchdowns. Davis Mills on the bench did better. I mean, that's crazy, right?
And he was in
Yeah.
a quarterback committee.
That's just
And then
crazy.
like he had to make some rough starts with Christian Watson, and it didn't pan out very well for him. But I mean the DPJ play that we were talking about last week, Marky Mark, that did pretty well, 11 points. That's not bad. That's
Yeah.
more than you can expect.
Watson missed what was it? There was at least 2 touchdowns, I think it was, and there was that whole controversy with he missed Aaron Rodgers' hand signal at the goal line for could have scored then.
Maybe next year.
Well, in the semis he can lose again. The 3-peat.
Exactly. That's why I said like maybe next year. Maybe next year Watson will be good. What do you think, Marky Mark?
I was just messing with my video feed, man. I kind of lost you guys. I'm still here, so I may just be winging it for the rest of the night, not seeing you. I can see me, but I can't see you. So fun stuff, man. Here we are live. So I'm not sure what said on the last part, but look at the DB's part here. Well, I was going to say that Ian left a lot on the bench. We didn't have the weekly report, so I don't know if he could have gotten enough points or not. But he sure did leave some on the bench.
Yeah, it looks like David Montgomery put up 22 points on his bench.
Yeah, I mean,
Holland put up
nobody was
12.
going to start. Nobody was going to start Mills, so I'll give him a break on that one. But man, that Montgomery sit was pretty tough on him.
He did sit Deontay Johnson with his boy at quarterback, 15 points, and T. Higgins had 13, almost 14 points. So those are big sits in the playoffs.
Yeah, Cleveland defense again too there.
Back on his
But
roster today.
yeah, looking at the DB side, man, they got a third of their points from the running back 1 and 2 spots. So that's a that's a that's a whew, that's a
Spicy
big
meatball.
that's a big one going into next week. But we won't talk about
It's
that
okay.
right yet. But yeah, I mean they did lose. They got a little bit out of Lockett before they lost him, and CD had a decent day with the Dak stack there, although he didn't get a touchdown. So, but definitely had a good day with Dak throwing for a lot. Brown was good. So man, they had a good lineup. They had some good matchups like we talked about, and it came through. It came through.
All right, let's go on to the next one there, Mark.
Yeah, we'll do that. I'm still a little irritated with my feet here, but we're gonna go with Tank Top Mike,
Woo!
137, Goofy effing Jace, 95. I haven't looked at this real close to see exactly what happened to Goofy. I know Hertz had a big game, but I'll open this up while you guys start talking about it.
So Mike Williams, he probably underperformed of what Goofy was trying to really get from him. He only got 8.7 points. Then his tight end, which I mean, tight end has been really suspect for everyone all year, unless you have Kittle. And then he got Pat Farimo, who's got 0 points in a tough bout at Carolina. And then it was really just his flex positions were not good. I mean,
Yeah,
in total, they had 4.5 points. That's three positions. They had 4.5 points. That's you're not gonna win if you do that. You're
that's
just not
pretty
gonna.
brutal. Pretty brutal. I'm seeing it now. What do you
And
think,
then
Mike?
over here on the Tank Top Mike side,
Are you gonna
Pittman,
you gonna let
14
Mike
points.
you gonna let Mike talk? Or you
No, keep going.
Heck no.
You're crushing it. You're crushing
we were on Goofy's side. We didn't give him a chance to
it.
chime in. So
do
good
your do
sakes.
your side of this matchup there, Tank Top. Tell us why you think you are the best and why you're the
I'm
best.
gonna be a little humble on this one.
Boo!
This is when you need a little bit of luck because I left some serious points on my bench, so I got a little lucky against Goofy, but I'm not too proud to admit it. I had three I had three mistakes, three big mistakes. Obviously the Colts, we all saw that, but nobody's gonna start the Colts in that game. In my defense, I picked up Detroit, 13 points for a team that you pick up specifically for a week. That's fine. The other one, so I had a plan. If Pittman and Diggs did not do great Saturday, I was going to have to maybe chase some points. And I thought, now it's down between, and then, Pittman did okay. Diggs, only 8 points, not great. And I thought, okay, now's the decision between Judy and, Jared McKinnon. So that was the one I fumbled the bag on that one. Yeah,
Well,
pretty
I
bad.
mean, Judy had a big old game last week. He had 3 touchdowns.
Well, I figured he wasn't going to do that again, obviously, but Sutton wasn't playing, and I said Judy's going to get 8 to 10 targets, but nailed it.
You got
Nailed
8.
it.
So
If you got into the end zone, that would have been a nice play.
yeah, then like I said, 11 points. I don't mind that too much, but McKinnon. I had McKinnon in, took him out, then put him back in, took him out again, just see how it felt.
Just
So
just to see how it fit.
I'm beating myself up for that one a little bit. And then the other one is that I just can't read I thought I saw my tight end position. I had a New Orleans Saint in my tight end. I swear to God, it was Juwan Johnson before the game started. Turns out it was Taysom Hill, who saved me with a 68-yard touchdown pass.
Yeah, could have been worse, but I was surprised too. When Jawan came back, John and I were happy to get him back in a league we had like nobody in, and
I started
we
him.
were
I had him
staring
in a
down
few other
freaking.
leagues and started him across the board in every
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
And I just saw Saints tight end, and I was like, good to go. Let's do this.
He's been good.
Giddy up.
He's been good for at least a touchdown, and man, he came back with a vengeance. So yeah, that's unfortunate.
Speaking
I didn't have
of
him.
shockers at tight end, Ingram had 10 targets.
Yeah.
10 targets. That's crazy. He has one good game, and then they're like, oh, wait, this guy's actually good. Maybe we should throw it to him. He's not Zay Jones in Jacksonville. Somebody has him. Somebody picked him up. I don't know who it was. It was
Did you
being
play him?
I've been playing him for like the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, I hadn't looked at yours yet, but I wasn't sure. But I thought with that score, it was a good chance you started him. I'm surprised that Goofy didn't play Waller. He wouldn't have, at least he wouldn't have had the goose egg. It wouldn't have gotten him the win, but at least he wouldn't have had the goose egg there. But
I'm not surprised. I would have set Waller too.
well, he traded.
There's no guarantee that he was going to come out and be the original, like the normal guy. That he could have been just a giant decoy. I totally agree with sitting him. I mean, he only got 3 targets. That's not Waller numbers. Usually
Yeah.
he's like around 7, 8 targets. So if he doesn't get into the end zone, he only gets 6 points. I mean, yes, that's better than a 0 that he got, but I can see where Goofy was coming from with that sit.
Yeah. Yeah, he had some points on his bench, but probably not guys that you were looking to start. It's Gage was probably not in.
22 points for Russell Gage.
Yeah, he's probably not in many lineups, if any. I think he was just coming. Was he coming back for his first game, or was that second
Yeah,
game?
that was his first game back.
So yeah, I kind of get it, man. That's unfortunate for him.
AJ Dillon has been down all year, and then he's just like, okay, it's actually my turn. He looked at the calendar, and Aaron Jones is like, okay, AJ, you can have your day now. All right, cool. 21 points,
It was stressful during the afternoon games when Mahomes and Hurts were just going back and forth on touchdowns, though. Like at one point, Hurts had like 4 points, and I was like, "All right, this is perfect." And then suddenly he had 34 points.
Yeah, pretty crazy, man. He started out pretty bad, but man, did he come on.
That was the battle of the MVPs in the NFL right there.
And Hurts probably killed many guys starting Sanders if they had him in the playoffs. Because Miles Sanders, it was looking like a great game for running against Chicago, but it was all Hurts. It wasn't anybody else, man.
A moment of silence for FNG.
Yeah. I started him in one league. I wasn't in the playoffs, but man, there's guys that were. I was seeing a lot of complaining in the Twitterverse there.
Good win, Tank Top. Good win.
Yeah.
We'll be rooting for you in the ship.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the Who Cares Bowl. We got the Prince 149.30. I'm giving the full score since we're doing a 2-week total here. And the A Bombers 93.96. So you jumped out to a pretty big lead there. What was it? 55.34 in your first week in the Who Cares Bowl.
I'm just saying I had the second highest score of the week. Let's just
No, I know.
All right.
I was going to point out too that you would have beaten everyone but the DBs this week. So
that's your Poo Crew. You hear that? I want to beat you.
Yeah, if you had made it to the playoffs, you would have beaten somebody, most likely. I don't know. Unless you were the number 4 seed, I guess.
Yeah, I would have been the number 4 seed, and I still would have lost to the
Yeah. I mean,
DB.
yeah.
But I had a good week. That's all that matters.
Yes, you did.
You're also 3-0.
Looking at my lineup,
Mike was saying something. Hold on, man. Hold on.
Oh,
what were you saying,
okay.
Mike?
All right. Yeah.
Well, no,
I can't
now
see him,
it's
but I can hear
irrelevant.
him. It's like my hearing has gotten better.
I was just saying, now you're 3-0.
3-0. That's right.
There you
3-0
go.
since I put the team together. You know, I got rid of the dead space that is CEH, sent him packing, added another player from LSU. 3-0. 3-0. I'm wearing my LSU shirt, A, because it's National Signing Day, and my LSU people did real well. I I was watching this my lineup, obviously, and Joe Burrow was giving me freaking heart attacks. It was like, yes, no, every time it was against Tampa. It was like, oh, no, crap.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
Told you it would be kind of an odd position for you.
But what about that Zay Jones start? 32 points. No big deal.
I don't want
What
to
do
talk
you
about
think,
that
Take
game.
Yeah, Zay Jones beat out Chase and Jefferson on your roster.
Yes, they did.
You know it's your day when you get something like that out of somebody other than Chase and JJ.
Well, I thought Aaron was going to start out real hot with Josh Allen, 36 points on Saturday, but that's looking a little scared for you going going into the full weekend of games.
I wasn't scared at all. You got to expect one of the best quarterbacks in the league to do well, against a good team, Miami. I bet he was really hyped for that matchup. So
If only Aaron had started his 2 tight end strategy again, because Knox had a pretty good game. But
Yeah, he did. Sure did.
it,
That would that's the stack he needed, not the Davis stack. And his poor Buffalo defense only got him 1 point. Evan
golly, when was the
Evans
last time Buffalo only gave 1 point?
they've been on the decline since early on. He was getting double digit points out of them every week. It seemed they've
Yeah.
been on the decline. Adams with a stinker against the New England, which doesn't surprise me because that's what New England defense usually goes tries to shut down their best guy, and it's definitely Adams in this case. But man, I thought he could still do a little something against them. Evans finally got a little something going, but only 10.8 points. And man, just Andrews
Russell
has just
Gage
been
was the play.
yeah. Andrews has just been down. I don't know, since seems like since Andrews missed a game and a half, maybe being hurt, he just hadn't been the same. But Lamar's also been out. Huntley had done all right with him last year, but not this year for whatever reason. So it just
I don't want to. I don't want to be that guy, but I'm going to be that guy. Is it time for uh, Orlando City to kind of blow it up and start it over? Time to sell off some pieces, get some picks, and start over? Just
Oh.
throwing it out there.
I wouldn't be surprised if something happens. He's at sort of in a middle ground, so we'll see.
Hey, don't be talking bad about the middle ground. This is where I live, is middle ground, all right?
I think part of the problem is he's only carrying 4 defenses. I think he's got to get back to his roots
hmm
and
Mm-hmm.
carry 5, 6 defenses on that roster.
That's what got him into the playoffs the last 2 years. And then he
Yeah,
cuts defenses and he doesn't even make it. So
yeah,
maybe you're
yeah,
onto something.
yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Allen is a great, you know, cornerstone, but we're not a 2 QB league, so. But it's nice to get those kind of points in your QB spot every week, not have to worry about who you're going to start. But
Mm-hmm.
Chubb's got some age to him now, and Devontae's getting up there too. He's probably got another season or two, but a lot of his guys here are getting some age to him, unfortunately. And even Cousins, his backup quarterback, is getting on up there. And yeah, I think it's probably about time. I wouldn't be surprised to see him make some moves. That Ridley on his bench could be somebody that could surprise He could
Mhm.
come back and do well with Lawrence on the rise there in Jacksonville. Knox is not a bad tight end to have. Maybe Shakir makes a jump next year, but it looks like he needs a little bit of a youth infusion to me. So he doesn't have a lot to do it with, unfortunately, with his draft capital, right?
Well, shoot, he's won a championship and made it to the playoffs 2 out of 3 years. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
he just missed it this year.
just missed it.
Yeah, he had the points if he could have gotten one more win, but it certainly wouldn't have been a good start for him in the playoffs. He would have been a first round exit unless he played goofy. But even Goofy beat him, right? Goofy had
Yeah.
more points than
Yeah.
him this week, so it would have been a tough loss. So, yep, you're probably right, Sean. It's probably about time. Well, let's move on, guys. We'll start with the
The
first.
Miyagi Bowl.
Yeah, the first matchup in the Miyagi Bowl. I finally get in the win column. Still didn't hit 100 points. It was the Who's Your Daddy's 98, Silly Dilly 80. So I move on to the finals with the win. Not much to talk about here, though. What do you guys think?
Who has your first round pick? Do we know?
FNG has it. I traded him. My in 22 to get my 22 first rounder back. I traded him my 23 first rounder. So now he's got my 23 first rounder.
Are you going to give him your 24?
Well, that's if he'll have me, I'll talk to him about trading that. I'll do it again. I'll mortgage the future. Take out a second mortgage on the roster here. Give him the 24 first and whatever else it takes. But we'll have to see. I told Goofy, I said, man, I'm gonna when we get back after the Christmas break, I'm gonna have a gift basket sent to him. And Goofy said he ought to send you a gift basket. But I'm like, well, whatever.
That's
Whatever,
right.
man. Someone's getting a damn gift basket. If he doesn't trade me, he better send me a gift basket. But I may just go ahead and send
Someone
him
better be getting a damn fruit basket.
I'll send him a nice little, some meats and cheeses and some peanut brittle and whatever else.
Nice bottle of wine.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Maybe a little wine and cheese basket. Yeah,
I
I
can
gotta
just see
start
drinking wine and eating cheese.
I gotta start buttering him up because he's in the same position as he was last year with having he's in the finals of the Miyagi Bowl and has both the picks, so he's got it locked up. Or was that Goofy last year? I can't remember. It might have been Goofy, right? Which one of them had it last year?
I think it was
Goofy had the first pick
Goofy.
last year, yeah.
I think Goofy had it locked up, right? No matter what, he had number one pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I mean, Dylan didn't didn't do didn't do too well, and it's not surprising. Definitely he's hurting a little bit too, talking about having to start over again. But yeah, it wasn't like I did much, but I did enough. So freaking Dante Foreman, man. I thought that matchup against Pitt might be all right, but man, pretty ugly line there. 10 carries for 9 yards. But I didn't really have anybody else to start, that I knew was going to do anything. I could have put Hines in, but I thought Foreman would have a decent day, but game script was not in his favor whatsoever.
I know you were
Well,
excited about Kittle because so were we. Finally, getting Kittle
Yeah,
going.
he kind of carried the day for me, and it again started me off strong.
Although I only watched that game till halftime, and when I went to bed, he had 23.3 points, and when I woke up, he had 23.3 points.
Yeah, I think it was like, all right, let's run the ball. You block it up for us, and really didn't need to do much more. But yeah,
there
he
was a.
kind of. Go ahead, Sean.
I was going to talk about something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying he was my top scorer. So yeah, definitely it was nice to get a good game out of Kittle finally.
Speaking of Dilly, there was some earthquakes in the chat this week. If you were not paying attention, Dilly has a co-manager. How's
Yeah.
the Humpty Dumpty and Dilly Willy gonna freaking do next year? You think that's gonna be the the combined powers at B and make this roster what it needs to be?
Well, we know that Ricky is good at selling pieces off, but that's already happened on this team. So what the hell is he going to do? What's the next step?
I I have a feeling that might change before the season starts next year, but we'll see what happens.
I mean, Dilly's got a first round pick next year. It's a late first round pick, but maybe he flips that for some more quantity over value,
Yeah.
and just try to get into 24 where he has a first round pick and a third round, two third round picks. I mean, I think it's going to be a slow burn on this rebuild. It's not going to be an FNG rebuild as we seen, but I think Billy can do it. I have faith in him.
Yeah, he might have a piece of two he can still trade away if he wants to try to get more draft picks. He could go about it that way. But yeah, he's got a long road ahead of him to get that thing back in shape. Well, let's move on to our last score in the Miyagi Bowl so we can get on the next week's matchups. But we have hang on a second, guys. I told you that I looked back and their scores weren't there. Landon was gonna get the score for me, but he didn't. He must not have gotten time. He's got a sick child at home. So I've got FNG with 95 and Professor Poindexter with less than 95. That's
FNG was the tough guy to beat in the bottom four. His team is pretty darn good. I
Mm-hmm.
mean,
yeah, yeah.
he was up in the middle for a little while, wasn't he? This season?
He was getting close.
I don't remember, to tell you the truth. He definitely, things were coming together for him after the first few weeks, and he was definitely making some noise there for a little while.
Yeah,
I
looking
think
at his, the obvious is like you guys said, the Miles Sanders,
yeah,
1.4 points.
Yeah,
Miles Sanders hurt him.
with Ramondre on the bench, he probably, like everybody else, thought he was hurt. And gosh, the guy came out and got 23.8 points.
That's just typical New England, though. You never know what's going to actually happen. I think Bill Belichick gets some sick enjoyment out of hearing everybody's points of view on like what they're going to do, and then he just totally flips the switch and does something completely different. Yeah.
Well, I mean, gosh, even injury folks are talking about, that he came out of the game, he went back in, couldn't finish the game, taped up the ankle, looking like maybe a high ankle, but I don't know, maybe I guess it wasn't as severe as we thought. He was right back in there, so it's a shame he didn't have him. I mean, he didn't need him to win it, but it would have been a lot bigger total for him, and it scares me more now that I know that Ramondre could be back in there this week against me. So, um, but yeah, he got it done. I mean, Godwin's playing well again. He's finishing out the season pretty strong.
Hmm.
Just unfortunately not doing much for Tampa Bay in general. But and Juju's coming back on. Juju was had a few bad weeks after he came back from that concussion, but he's doing things again. Um, had a decent line. If he hadn't had that fumble, it would have been a little better, and if he could have gotten in the end zone. But 11.8 is not bad on what was it, 10 targets for him, man. So, but not much going on for Professor Poindexter. Playing for he'll be playing for pick 3 or 4 next week. So,
As he should be.
all right, guys, we'll move on to next week's matchups. Unless you got anything else that you wanted to squeeze in there, I don't have anything else. We don't do a Miyagi for postseason.
If we did, A-Bomb would get it because that was a shitty ass week there, eh?
Yeah, if we were going to count the teams, I don't know. I mean, yeah, that's why we don't do it. I mean, I think there
Maybe
was
you
lower.
should put a good lineup together, A-Bomb. Stop
Jeez.
mailing this in.
You got a 50-point lead on him.
Well, maybe he should fucking try.
55 points, a little over
I
55.
told him. I told him this ain't my first rodeo in the Who Cares Bowl. You know.
The Airgate Bowl. Excuse me.
Whoa.
Uh, I don't sanction that as a name change, but
Oh man, the commission just put the commish on it.
I mean, because the premise was let's name it after him because he's so bad, but he's not really so bad when he would have beaten 3 out of the 4 playoff teams this week. So.
Hey, it's on the website, and if it's on the website, it's the truth.
Yeah.
Whoa. We're giving way too much power to the powers that be of the website when you say shit like that.
Yeah,
All right, this goes out to the public.
The truth.
that's someone with an agenda that's butthurt over losing in the first round of the playoffs.
No, there's no way that guy is butthurt. I've never seen that guy butthurt one time in my whole life.
Got to have
He's
some way to take a.
never, ever come back with 17 billion spreadsheets about why he is right and everybody else is wrong. That's never happened one time.
Got to have somebody to take it out on. All right, let's move on to the championship.
Champion!
Playing in the Outlaw Bowl, we've got Tank Top Mike versus the DBs.
Boo!
Let's look up and down the old matchups here and see what we think.
Let's go matchup to matchup.
Yeah, we can spend a little more time on this one for sure. But you guys started off. Tell me what you see. What jumps off the
All right,
page?
Tank Top. Let's hear what you got. Let's see. Let's look behind the curtain, as they say.
I have a lot of decisions to make still, and I reserve the right to change them until Saturday morning.
Dean
Yeah.
decided. Boom. We give you that ability.
Well, right off the bat, that running back 1 and 2 for DBs, like I started to allude to there earlier. It's when you got Henry going up against Houston, and I think the last 4 games he's gone over 200 yards every time.
Is that good?
That's a tall order right there, right off the bat.
I
Not
do
trying to
want to
jinx
point
or
out,
anything.
because you brought up the running backs 1 and 2.
Ooh, all right, here we go.
In fact, I have the RB 1 and 2 on the season on my roster.
Let's go.
Derrick Henry and Christian McCaffrey. Here's a cool fact: they're 3 and 4, so we have the top 4 running backs starting.
Pretty amazing. Yeah.
So I speak fluent Tank Top Mike. He says you can take your running backs and shove it because I got
Yeah.
1 and 2. Bring that shit. We're gonna freaking.
Although I do
take...
not have a Derrick Henry against the Texans.
Yeah.
So that's gonna.
Is that good? Is that a good matchup? I don't know. Is that a good matchup?
Yeah. You got 2 good ones there. I wasn't taking anything away from it, but you didn't really want to talk about them much, so I went on to the DBs, running backs there. But Eckler
He took offense to it. He said, "Whoa."
and you got Eckler going Monday night, so it could be interesting if to see how many points you are ahead or behind on Monday to see what Eckler needs for you, right? So that's pretty interesting right there. They got he definitely quarterback, man. Mahomes against Seattle. That should be feast to quote Dr.
Lamar
Seuss.
Jackson is playing Atlanta though.
Yeah.
He is in
Jackson
practice,
out,
though.
okay.
Yeah, he's still questionable, man. I don't know. I think with
80%. Lamar Jackson is 70% actually. It's still feast on Atlanta. Atlanta's hot dog trash.
with Huntley being questionable too, maybe they're going to try to get him back in there this week. But that's otherwise they're looking at playing Prescott against Philly, which is going to be a tough matchup, definitely. They are doing well against the pass. They got some shutdown corners and a good pass rush, and he didn't play in the first game, so it's hard to gauge what he might be able to do in this game. But that's I'd have Jackson in there with lighting some candles and praying too.
How
So
do
I
we
get
feel about AJ Brown going up against Dallas defense?
Right, see how it hurts if he actually plays. It sounds like he wants to play.
Yeah.
They say he feels good, but who knows? But
it. I'm still not sure if it's his throwing shoulder or not. What have you guys heard?
actually, I don't
I
know.
haven't one way or the other.
I keep meaning to look into that, and I haven't. I guess I should know since they're playing against my Cowboys, but um, and it's not like it's still a good team. If Minshew plays, we've seen Minshew do good things. It's not like there's a big drop off. It's a different
It's a giant drop off. All
different
right. No, it's
different.
not.
Well,
It's a giant drop.
it's a different dynamic for fantasy purposes. Okay, I'll give you that. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not going to do what Hertz does. But I guess I was thinking more real football
Right.
because it's we're talking about him playing with Cowboys now. So, but yeah, I mean they still could have a good game against the Cowboys. So I don't think it changes that dynamic a whole lot. It's just certainly changes the fantasy.
What's interesting is who they have in here at tight end. The guy on by this
Yeah,
Tebow dude.
yeah.
I don't know who the hell that guy is, but he's
Uh,
projected to have 0
It's
points.
too
That
little,
can't be
too
good.
late.
I'm
Wolford already
sure.
ruined everything
I'm
going
sure.
on.
Sure, they're going to stick with him. Yeah, I don't think they'll change that at all.
Uh, don't lineups like lock or something like that?
I think I'll go ahead and lock this one in.
Lock.
I think
Oh,
I think I
okay.
can. I think there's a lock button for the Commissioner powers. I'll just hit the lock button. And
All
we'll
right.
let it ride.
Cool. All right. We'll see what this Tim Tebow does.
I think we all know why they got him in there. I'm sure they'll go with Hawkinson, which is a good matchup against the Giants this week. So
I will
I just want
say,
to put it out that they need to manage their lineup a little bit better. They have a guy playing in Thursday in their flex spot. So, yeah. Just saying. Just saying.
you're like the freaking roster police.
Well, I can't be the grammar police. You all
No,
know that.
no, that's Brandon. We gotta let Brandon be the grammar Nazi, but you can you could be the roster Nazi. How about that?
Yeah.
I don't want to say too much about Mike's matchups because one way or another it seemed to jinx him. So,
Yeah, you shut the hell up.
but
You don't say one word about his lineup.
I like it
Let's
though.
let's move on to the next one. Let's
I
move
will
on.
say I like it.
I do want to say though, I feel like no disrespect to the other 8 teams here. I feel like this has been a season long. This is what we've been, you know, kind of waiting for. It's been destined almost for this championship matchup. They finally had a good
Golly.
roster. This is what a while ago. I was almost like it's probably going to be me and the DBs. I felt it right in my plums, and here we are. So
Well, there you heard it. Think Top Mike's Plums called it weeks ago.
Yeah, I will say they've got some tough matchups going in the championship week. I'm sure they're trying to do their homework and get the best lineup set, but they got to be a little
Well,
nervous about some of it. I would be.
as former, not current, but former captain of the Pro Bowl, you guys need to go have a good championship bout, but don't get injured. We need y'all's guys for the Pro Bowl. We're gonna go 2-0. You know
well, we have our
that.
pick of running backs apparently on our in our conference.
Well, we got 1 through 4. I mean, what are we gonna do?
Losing JT was a big hit for us, man. So
Maybe you guys will start Jamar Chase. Oh wait,
We got him,
we got him.
ladies and
We got
gentlemen. We got him.
funny,
him.
funny. All right, that's it for me. I'll see you guys next week.
Well, we'll see you next season because you ain't gonna be able to say shit next week either.
Okay. What,
When
what are
does
we
the
talking about
tampering
now?
period start for
Yeah,
Pro Bowl? Can we start now?
yeah.
Let's go.
It
I'm
took
ready.
us it took us like 8 days to figure out our team name, and we didn't actually do that. So maybe we should start there.
But more importantly, it took us like 45 minutes to figure out that we had a really good roster and we put it together.
That's true. The nameless fantasy champions.
It has championship in the name,
Mhm.
so it seems right. All right, Mark, get us back on the rails here. What's next?
Yeah, we'll talk about the consolation matchup and then we'll just hit the highlights on the last three matchups. But we got Puku going up against Goofy F and Jace to see who gets third place and a little bit more money, and fourth place to see who gets their buy-in back. So let's start it out. Anybody? Anybody?
So I'm looking at Goofy Jace over here, and he's got a big, big question mark at quarterback right now. His only other option besides Hurts is Trevor Lawrence, and he plays on Thursday night. So he either rolls the dice and maybe Hurts comes back and plays, or he has to bench him, not knowing if he's going to play, and play Trevor Lawrence, who has been playing very well the last few weeks. So it might not make a difference. But as an Eagles fan, trying to get the third place pick, third place money, that's a big question. What do y'all think?
Yeah, that is tough because Trevor Lawrence has been playing really well lately, actually. So
Yeah.
that makes it a lot harder. I
Yeah,
mean, I
but
guess you could pivot, a little pivot action,
Bleh.
but after that, it's Russell Wilson, and I wouldn't want to be doing that. I mean, he was turning on the burners to start cooking a little bit before he got hurt, but who knows if that was actually real or
That was a one game
or like a
burn.
one-off. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, I do not envy that decision at all. It's actually really tough.
Yeah, that's going to be a big decision.
it's interesting to see that Sleepers got him projected for 0 points. Talking about Hertz.
Mhm.
So
Vegas
they've got him
lines
out.
are moving like he's not playing as well.
Yeah, they've got him out, you know. Yeah, you look at the Vegas stuff and um, but they're giving him hope. I don't know if that's just a smokescreen to try to, throw Dallas off and try to have to prepare for two quarterbacks and make it tough for them. But
I mean, as an Eagles, if I was the head coach of the Eagles, I wouldn't tell you until I absolutely had to.
no, I mean that's
Yeah,
that's 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 good.
Divisional game against
Yeah,
a good team, like fuck
yeah.
that.
No, that's why I say I think that could be why they're giving him a chance because it didn't seem like they were earlier on. The Lawrence one isn't great either. Going up against the Jets on a short week, playing in New York, up there was going to be a little cold. I don't think the worst of the weather is going to be on Thursday night, but it will be definitely be cold. Um, Jacksonville coming up there to play in that cold is not going to be. That's not going to be great with the two corners that they have there. So it's it's not a great. I'm glad if I'm goofy, I'm just glad I'm not having to make that decision in the championship, man.
Yeah.
You know.
you're welcome, Goofy, for beating you. I did it for you.
Yeah.
I think there's a diamond in the rough for Goofy though. I'm looking at his lineup. J.K. Dobbins, third week back. He's playing Atlanta, in a dome.
Yeah. No injury designation either. He's off the
Giddy
injury
up,
report.
JK. I think this is gonna be JK's coming out party. He's gonna put up some big points this week, leading into the off season, and JK is gonna be a hot commodity over the off season after this game.
Now I forced JMO in a little early, and it cost me my co-manager duties in another league. But at this point, you're nuts to keep him in. Even I benched him.
Yeah. What the heck, right? What the heck?
You are nuts.
I see Crew's got in Higgins. He's got in Montgomery. He even put Deontay in there. Sean, I don't know. Did you
And
talk to him?
Cleveland. He played.
Oh,
His roster this week is playing last week to
yeah.
win last week. Yeah.
He said, "I'm not gonna make those mistakes again."
Yeah. He's got a good lineup in there. Goofy's got some question marks. I mean, he's got Jones in there with he's questionable, but I think he's been questionable. But he could always put Dylan in there if he had to, and Dylan doing December. Oh, he's got Dylan in there. I see that now. Dylan's doing the December Dylan stuff. So
You know what's funny is that uh, Pickens Pickett should be back at quarterback for Pittsburgh, and Deontay Johnson's not the play when he's the quarterback. You know what I mean?
A
Like
historic
Trubisky,
lack of touchdowns for Deontay Johnson.
yeah. When Trubisky's in there, Deontay Johnson's the only play in Pittsburgh because he'll throw it every, every attempt at Deontay Johnson, regardless if he's open or not. So it's funny that he missed out last week. Now this week, the quarterback is coming back and he's going to play him, and he's going to get like exactly what he's projected, probably like 7 or 8 points.
all right, I think we can move on. We'll touch quickly on the Who Cares and the Miyagi. I don't think we need to do any deep dive
I'm
on
going
it.
to win. I'm going to win.
Yeah, that one's locked up. I think, unfortunately for Aaron.
Yeah, I don't see in the Who Cares Bowl we got Prince going up again, A Bomb again. I don't see. I was just looking down A Bomb's lineup here, and I really don't see him getting the win and 55 points.
Hell no, not this week. Your team sucks. Rebuild.
Your team sucks.
He's got all those Buffalo guys going up against Chicago, which is a good matchup, but it's going to be cold and windy on Saturday.
Have you seen my lineup? That ain't gonna work.
You
There
just
ain't
want
no
to
way.
you just want to flex. Go ahead and flex, Sean.
Well,
Uh,
I got 55 points on you and my team's. So, A-Bomb, you're gonna suck this week yet again. So, when you look at your team this week, A-Bomb, and you find out that you are going to be like 100 plus points behind me when this is all said and done,
Are you on
start
pace for the most
clocking
lopsided Who Cares Bowl victory of all time?
it.
I feel like, by the way, we can say of all time now that we're in the third year. I don't know.
Yeah,
why.
I think
That's
that's
true. This is the time where you can say of all time. Big
I've
third
been
year and
here for
after.
3 years in a row. This ain't my first rodeo in the Who Cares, you know.
Tell you what's
I come to win.
what's
Who cares? Well,
yeah. You take it seriously.
I take this very seriously.
A-Bomb's got a lot of weather games, man. He's got guys that are playing in Pittsburgh, guys that are playing in Cleveland. Oof. He's got like the all crap weather lineup right now, man, pretty much. So
Well, you know what? I'm not playing for me because I'm a very selfless and humbled person. I'm playing for Goofy. He's got my number one pick. I told him that I would do well. You know, he's gonna have a top 5 pick. You know, you're welcome, Goofy. You're welcome. If you want to send me a gift basket, that's okay too. You know where I live.
all right, real quick, we'll go over the Miyagi, the pick for 1 and 2. FNG is playing for pick 1 and 2. I'm playing for Pry. uh, and can I send a gift basket and maybe get pick 1 or 2? Uh,
The money is on FNG having the pick 1 and pick 2.
yeah, the smart money's there
Solid
for
money
sure.
is on
So I'm looking at his lineup, which I haven't done yet. So I'm looking at his lineup to see how strong it's going to be. He's got Goff at Carolina, so it's not a bad weather game, but Goff splits away haven't been as good. But Kenneth Walker in Kansas City is one of those bad weather games.
Kenneth Walker's kind of beat up right now.
He's a little bit
As
beat up.
as an owner of him in another league, he's kind of beat up.
Amari Cooper's one of those bad weather games. And I mean, I'm not trying to make too big of a deal about the weather yet, but um, everybody's yeah, it's a big winter storm, cold and windy, so it definitely could have an effect on things. So
It's playoff football weather. That's what it
yeah,
is.
he's got Juju in there. He's got London in there. He's got some guys playing in some bad weather. Um, definitely got a good lineup in some questionable weather games. We'll say. What do you guys think about that part of it?
I think F&G is gonna win.
It's all over me tonight, man. Just all over me tonight. I'm gonna change the locks, man. I'm gonna get
Everyone can get it.
I'm gonna get you out of my house tonight, and I'm gonna change the locks. So,
It's all right.
been nice knowing you, buddy.
Well, at least F&G will like me.
I got Singletary in there right now. He's in one of those. He's in that game against Chicago, and I got Elijah Moore going Thursday night up there in New York. So I got a couple of them too, but I don't know. I've got a lineup that can do it. I'm not crazy about Brown in there right now. Marquise Brown with Trace McSorley starting. They've already ruled out.
Yeah, when it was announced that he was starting, I had to look it up to make sure he was a real person. Like I
Yeah,
thought that was a joke.
You had to fact check it.
yeah.
Did you get your information from a guy on Twitter that has ESPN in his tag? That's
Hey,
what I do. That's where I get all my information.
I had the early info on that Matt Ryan getting benched thing yesterday. So, and I knew about DeAndre Swift and the murder investigation. So you keep your ESPN sources.
La-dee-da.
I
You
think I'll
think
be.
you're in the championship and you know everything. I see how it is, Tank Top. It's okay, man. Have your moment.
I'm gonna make
I just want it to be very apparent that Marky Mark said he had the lineup that could beat FNG. So we'll see what happens over the week. We'll see if FNG fumbles at the 1 yard line and still gets picked 1 and 2.
Yeah,
But
he wins
it'll
either
be
way.
good for Marky Mark's spirit going into the offseason if he can get a W this week.
live lineup change. I just put Deion Jackson in over Hollywood Brown. So
Ooh.
I could stare down Brandon Cooks, but he's coming off injury, so it's a tough one to think about too. But Bills had a good game last week. Maybe Cooks will get back going with him. But Deion Jackson could be a fun start. See another Monday night start to see if I need points or not.
You know what's really fun about that start is that every point that Jackson gets is a point that the Pooh Crew is not going to get, and it's just makes me happy in my heart. It just makes me happy. Little
Yeah,
things in life this time of year just brings a little joy to your soul.
yeah. Maybe I talk to him. Maybe as soon
Ooh.
as soon as the games are over, I'm gonna turn back on trades.
Yes.
Or instruct Brandon to do it. You know, I've been I've been seeing a lot of talk about. There's been a lot of talk. People complaining about having trade deadlines. What do you guys think about that? In a
Those
dynasty
next
league,
ones have to be a thing. It has to be a thing.
Yeah,
in
I
a
agree.
dynasty league, there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, you should never have a trade deadline in dynasty." But I just think it's opening a can of worms, man. You know, you get
There's
a
a trade
trade.
deadline in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah. And that's why I do it. But I've been seeing a lot of people like just trashing it. It just kind of made me wonder. I'm like, huh, do I got the right idea or not? But if you guys agree, you know, I'm feeling better about it anyway.
I'd
We're
worry
only
about
two
buying
people.
championships.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just seems like bad business. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's why they do it in the
oh, didn't
NFL
make
too.
the playoffs, so I'm just gonna sell all my pieces.
Because you know,
All the people that are in the playoffs.
yeah. Well, and like saying in real NFL, like you say, Sean, there's people that have buddies on other teams still, you know.
Mhm.
So they could do the same thing there. You know, let me sell my buddy this guy so they can win a Super Bowl. And yeah, no, I don't know. I'm going to turn trays on as soon as the matchups are over on Monday night, and maybe I'll talk to Poo Crew about Deion Jackson here.
So I have a very important question to ask the only NAO host that is in the playoffs.
Hello.
Are you going to watch every second of every game this week? Is
Um,
it you're gonna post yourself up on the couch and football is gonna be on the whole time?
I don't know. We'll see. I think Thursday, tomorrow night I'll watch, just because that's the only thing on.
Mhm.
Do you have anybody in? Do you?
I have Engram in right now,
Okay.
but
yeah.
I'm watching that weather come through. We're seeing how
Yeah.
that's gonna go. Because my other option is Juwan Johnson, also in a weather game. So who cares?
He did pretty well last week.
But I don't know. Saturday, I don't think we're doing anything. So I'll probably stick to the usual. You know,
It being holidays too, that has to be taken into consideration.
that's true. I don't know. We have red zone anyway, so I bounce around anyway. It's really hard
Very
to. Have
good.
you ever like sat and tried to watch red zone? It's hard.
It's like watching a toddler on freaking speed.
Yeah,
It's
it's hard to sit and just watch it. Yeah, we have it on like when we do other things.
all right.
So anyway, that's what I do.
I will be watching your matchup like a hawk
In
because I'm
terms
not
of
worried
sleeper
about my
though,
matchup.
yeah, in terms of sleeper, I normally I don't look at sleeper like my score. I'm in chat,
Okay.
but I don't normally look at the scores. And I look at them a few times after the first set of games, after the second set of games, and then after the night games, each one.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
But I'm in
I didn't
chat
realize.
because you can open up sleeper and like not look at your score.
Yeah.
That's true. I'll be looking at your scores, so if you need to know, I will let you know because I'm
Yeah,
not
you
worried.
did that. You did that to me last year, me and Aaron when we were in it. I wasn't watching my score, and you were like, "Oh no!" like another touchdown for Mike Evans. Fucking Rex Burkhead scored again. Like I'm trying not to watch this.
But you're getting the play-by-play from me in the chat.
I think I
Oh, that
actually
was
eventually told you,
awesome.
like, dude, you gotta quit that shit.
It's okay. This week, A Bomb doesn't have anything to play for. Team absolutely sucks. So, and I'm gonna win the Who Cares Bowl, and he's gonna have to go into full rebuild. Uh, so it's all on you, Tank Top. Marky Mark, do you want to give Tank Top some love or some hate towards A Bomb's team?
This you're dishing on everybody, man. You're like burning all your bridges. Your cousin, your friend. I don't get it, man. I don't know what the heck
Win
I
the Who Cares Bowl. Who cares?
Who
what you put in
cares?
that coffee tonight, but man, just selling everybody down the river.
Ooh, that's what I'll do. I'll wake up Sunday morning, Saturday and Sunday morning. I'm gonna grind some of my own coffee. That's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
Oh, shoot.
There you go. Hey,
All right, y'all.
we got
That
another
was,
convert there, Sean. That's
what's that?
we have another convert to the French press now.
I told Anna about it when we were in Tampa, and by the time I got home, she had one ordered off online.
It's because she's
Welcome,
a grade A wife. Grade A wife.
welcome to the club, Tank Top. Good luck this week, man.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, hope you get it this time. It's second time in. I hope you get it this time, and then I don't
Get
care if
it
you ever win
done.
again.
What we should do is if you do win the championship and when we do win the Pro Bowl, because duh, before sending the trophy to FNG, because he will be the captain of said victorious Pro Bowl team, we should send it to you so you can have a picture with both the trophies.
Oh my god, that'd be fantastic.
That'd be fantastic. All right, that was week 1 playoffs. We killed it. I killed A-Bomb. He's not coming back this week. He's actually going to just forfeit the whole rest of the season. Tank Top, best wishes from the NAO crew again. Going to the ship, going to the big league, the freaking pie in the sky. Let's go. And if you've seen the end of this show, you know what's going to happen next. Crew, you suck.